Welcome to the Asset Management Mastery Podcast. Your hosts, Gary Lipsky and Kyle Mitchell, have more than 50 years of combined experience in operations and management and more than 25 years of real estate investing experience. This show focuses on educating syndicators and apartment owners on how to build systems and manage their properties more efficiently to become a best-in-class operator. 100% straight talk. Let's jump in.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Asset Management Mastery Podcast. I'm your co-host Kyle Mitchell, also joined by Gary Lipsky. This podcast is focused on educating operators, building better systems, and becoming a best-in-class operator. Also be sure to check out our Facebook group, Asset Management Mastery. All right, today on the show we have Todd Heitner. How are you, Todd?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing well, thanks. We appreciate you coming on the show. If you can start by telling the listeners a little bit more about yourself and what you currently do.
Sure. So our company is Apartment Investor Pro. We basically focus on the websites for multifamily syndicators. We just saw that a lot of people struggle to get that set up. Either something that looks professional enough or whatever to build trust with investors and brokers. So we just built a service that helps them to get up and running a lot more quickly and with less hassle, basically. So that's what we do.
Well, welcome. That sounds awesome. I know, GPs want to focus on, managing the asset and raising money, and this allows them to have someone take care of it all. So, tell us a little bit more about it. Why is it important for operators, and a little bit of cost structure, stuff like that?
Yeah. Of course, if somebody's trying to raise money for, maybe they've got a deal, but they're working on the next one, whatever credibility is a big thing. People are going to Google you. They want to see your website. We expect businesses today to have websites. So, if you don't have anything at all, that can hurt you, obviously. Or if you have something that looks unprofessional, a lot of people kind of throw up a do-it-yourself website, and sometimes it looks like a do-it-yourself website, and that can really kind of hurt the credibility. It's part of your brand. It's kind of a hub for all of your marketing. So, if you have a podcast, you might put that there, blog post, any kind of free resources, or if you have an investor portal, for that, you link that there. So really everything kind of revolves around the website. It also opens up the possibility to automate things with your business, like build a marketing funnel, basically have people kind of coming in and contacting you, building, learning about you on autopilot, basically. So there's a lot of benefits to it.
So those are all the different elements that you put together for someone.
Yeah. So, some things to think about with the website. First off, you get a domain name you want to have, which I always recommend people get that to match your company name. It's part of your brand. I suggest getting a .com, not whatever else. And sometimes it can be tempting because it's hard to find a good domain name. The other day, somebody sent me their website and it was something .investments. And that sounds good at first, but the thing is, I didn't even realize it was a website address when I saw it. And I think that's the problem. It doesn't look like a website address. We're used to seeing .com. So before you get set on a certain company name, check to see if the domain name's available. But some things you have to have with a website, you want to have web hosting. I don't recommend going with the cheapest you can find. The design and development, again, I don't recommend doing that yourself because it's not a good use of your time. Even though I have, decades of experience building websites, when it comes to editing our website, I'm not the one that does it because it's not a good use of my time, as the business owner. So, and then, there's content to think about. So, and then maintenance is another thing, which I think sometimes gets overlooked. But if you don't keep things up to date and everything on your website could actually get hijacked, and you can have all kinds of problems with that. So those are a few things that kind of make up a website. Of course, with our service, we include the hosting and the design and all that kind of stuff, and the content is already built into that.
Nice. And how can your website help you to attract investors rather than have to chase them?
Yeah, by helping you to become an authority. When we think about the word authority, the base of it is author, and when you're authoring content, you're perceived as an expert in the industry. And so it could be things like, a free report for one thing is a good place to start, but blog posts, podcasts, email newsletters, videos, those are all different types of content. And so by putting that out there, people learn about you, and they can be drawn into your company. And by the time they contact you, very likely they're already pretty much ready to go, there's going to be a much lower resistance because they already trust you and know something about you. So that's really a great way to build relationships with people, is through your content.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other options that someone should think about when they're looking to you to, build their website?
Yeah. So, I mean, some of the options that are out there, I mean, obviously somebody could do it themselves, which I said I don't really recommend. You could hire freelancers. You kind of have to, you're responsible for kind of putting that all together yourself that way. But like our service, we have it, can have somebody up quickly with less hassle, which lets you focus on other parts of your business, like managing the assets, finding the next deal, building relationships, things like that, where your time really needs to be spent.
Yeah. As an operator, coming up with a website is a huge time suck, and it's certainly not, my expertise and a lot of my friends that are GPs as well. So relying on someone else to help put that together is great. Anything else that a GP should know about, having someone else build their website for them?
Well, so, like for example, sometimes people try to do it themselves, and they maybe use something like a free, or not free, but like a website builder service. And they sometimes run into the situation where it's not going to grow with their business. So like not looking at just what you need today, but looking like down the road, like what features or what things are you going to need, and make sure you get something that is going to grow with you. If you're hiring people to do it all for you, just be aware that that's a pretty big undertaking. Even if somebody else is doing a lot of the work, you still have to put it all together and know what you need. And so that, something to be aware of for that. And that, again, that's kind of where we try to make that easier for people.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, I'm going to send it over to Kyle. Take us home.
All right, Todd, what is your asset management superpower?
I'd say helping syndicators get their website set up in lightning speed. Usually within a day or two, basically, they can have their website up and running.
Yep, absolutely. Very important nowadays, for sure. If you can tell the listeners a little bit more about where they can find out about you and your company.
Yeah, sure. Our website is apartmentinvestorpro.com. If they come there, there's a free demo you can see, and feel free to contact us too if you have any questions.
Perfect. Well, we appreciate your time and for you coming on. To all of our listeners out there, thank you for tuning in. If you like this episode, please hit that subscribe and also give us a review so we can continue to grow the podcast, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please go to iTunes and leave a rating and written review to help us grow and reach more listeners. You can also go to the Asset Management Mastery Group on Facebook so you can reach Kyle and Gary and ask your questions that you want them to answer on the show. Subscribe too so you can get the latest episodes. Lastly, to stay updated, go to assetmanagementmastery.com and sign up for the newsletter. If you're interested in partnering with Gary and Kyle, sign up on the contact page so you can talk to them directly. Thanks again for joining us. Be sure to tune in again next week for another episode.